wrong with me? You know, I just was nervous, I'm on edge, I'm panicky, I'm overwhelmed, I'm dreading everything. Just I woke up this morning and I knew I was going to feel this. I'm just breathless, I can't breathe. And the more I try to breathe, the harder it is. I can't get nothing out. I've got trouble sleeping, and I don't sleep at night, and I can't eat in the day. I can't concentrate. I mean, what's yesterday? Is it Tuesday? What's today? Is it Thursday? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, and I feel tired all the time. I just want to sleep, and I feel grumpy, and my heart is. Do you feel like that? Do you feel? Yeah. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. And you know, sometimes you just feel like you're having a heart attack, and when you start breathing like that, it makes it worse. You think, oh, do I go to the hospital? I can't go to the hospital. My mouth's dry. Let's have a drink. Let's have a drink. That might make me feel better. So, you know, I get wobbly legs, and the wobbly legs, I make myself to the sink, and I get the glass, and my hands are trembling while I do it, and at the same time I get stomach cramps. Oh my God, I've got to somehow rush off to the loo because I've got bloody diarrhea. My God, I mean, what the hell is wrong with me? Because I'm also sweating and I'm feeling really hot, and what the hell, I can't breathe. Yes, that was a bit of the amateur dramatics. It's Derek Cummings back in South Wales again, and this is a video about stress. I call it Everything as Expected, the power of thought, because thought is such a powerful thing. Thought can make us better, as in a placebo, or it can make us sicker, as in voodoo. Because the power of our thought is so strong, our mind is so strong, it can break bones. And stress is such an awful thing for us with COPD. In fact, probably mental health of some kind or other affects every single one of us with COPD. It affects me. I'm not ashamed to say it does affect me. I suffer from stress. I'm one of the most positive people there is. I mean, when I started suffering from stress, I didn't know why I was suffering from stress. I couldn't understand it. Hang on, I'm positive. I'm doing things, and why am I suffering from stress? But I was suffering from stress, and stress has the effect of making you more breathless. Has the effect of making you more fearful of things, such as taking a shower. It can do all sorts of things. It can make you fearful of going out, of meeting people. And stress is now much worse since we've had COVID-19, and we really do need to work on our stress. Now, make no mistake, if your stress is bad, don't feel any shame at all about going to the doctor and asking for his little white pills, lorazepam or something like that. I take lorazepam occasionally myself to settle myself down. You wouldn't think that possible, would you? But I do, and it does help enormously. So never be ashamed of going along to the doctor to help yourself, because, do you know, fear is your worst enemy, and breathlessness is probably the number one. Most of my emails are from guys that have recently been diagnosed with COPD. Even now, people are diagnosed with COPD, given a couple of inhalers, sent on their way, and given no information whatsoever, and that is a disgrace in this day and age. And no information. So what they do is they go onto Google and they look at some of these Google sites that tell them that you're dying, that you're going to be dead within 5 years. Hell, they've got young kids, some of these people, or young grandchildren. I've had COPD since 1987. I was 39 years old in 1987, and then there was no internet, there was no Google, there was no nothing. You was on your own. You only had a doctor. I was given an inhaler. I was given a Ventolin and I was sent on my way and given no information whatsoever. And for very many years I was ignorant. But I've had this since 1987. Now think about that, guys. I'm 73 now, and this is 2021. So I've had it for a very long time, and I've lived more than 5 years. In fact, I was diagnosed end stage when I was about 60. I've watched my grandchildren grow up in that time, and they'll soon be teenagers, so don't worry about it too much. But the major fear with stress is panic attacks. I've suffered from panic attacks, and I know how awful panic attacks are, and they come out the blue. That's what happened to me when I had a panic attack, and that was before I got COPD. I was walking across a common, I was walking across some grass, and I felt strange. I felt as though it wasn't me. I felt nothing, like the world didn't exist, that nothing existed, I didn't exist. It was such a strange feeling, and I went into a panic attack, an awful one. Well, I was helped out of it, and then I got onto a bus and I got another one. And after that, my mind, it contributed that green and that a bus to a panic attack. So I couldn't go on a bus, and I couldn't walk across that green because that would set off that panic attack. How awful was that? And I was like that for some while, until I did manage to get over it. So I know when someone said they're having a panic attack, exactly what you're talking about. It's a very hard thing to have. I've been there. And our thoughts, well, they can and they do make us ill. It's a psychology. Our minds are very, very strong. We just don't really give any credence to how strong our minds are. Our minds are enormously strong. They can heal us, or they can kill us. That's how strong our minds are, believe it or not. You've heard of the voodoo curse, the old days when the local doctor was a witch doctor. And the witch doctor would give a potion and say, this will make you well, placebo effect, and the patient would go away and the patient would get better. And there was nothing in these but a couple of old bones and a couple of ashes from the fire or whatever the local doctor put in there. But if he fell out with somebody, he'd say, I curse you. He'd give them something and he'd say, I curse you and I curse your family, you're all going to die. And I believe him. And they'd be dead in a very short time. Am I dramatics? No, it's true. It happened, and still does happen, amazingly, in some of the deepest, darkest parts of Africa, and a placebo effect. And this is what happens to you, you see. You're telling yourself, no witch doctor's coming to you. You're your own witch doctor. You're telling yourself your breathing's getting worse. Sometimes. You know, you can imagine you go into a panic attack, you wake up, you're stressed and You think about your breathing, you concentrate on your breathing, and you concentrate on the badness of your breathing. You think, oh, that sounds bad, that doesn't sound right, that sounds a bit rattly, that sounds a bit strong, you know, or I can feel that it's a bit tighter than normal, and you think more, and it gets tighter, and it gets tighter, until eventually you're having problems breathing. And your prophecy was right, of course. You knew your breathing was getting worse. And you've just made your prophecy right. Think about it. Well, you could go the other way. You could say, take a deep breath and think, oh, that feels better. I can feel something moving up my chest. I can feel the phlegm moving up my chest. And oh, I can feel the air behind it. Oh, that feels easier. You can do all sorts of things. Massage. That helps as well. Anything but thinking badness. Always think goodness. There's lots of goodness. Nature. Thinking of nature is marvellous. Nature is great. If possible, go out into nature. Absolutely marvellous. I'll give you an example of badness hitting us. Let's take a shower. You take a shower, you jump in the shower, and while you're in the shower, maybe there's a little bit of humidity, and that little bit of humidity is affecting your chest, and you find it a little bit harder to breathe, or you're just having a bad day, because we all get bad days. We all get bad days, or good days, don't we? So you're in there, and you find it hard to breathe. So, you're struggling. I've got to get out. I've got to get out of this shower. And you get out of the shower, and you rush and sit on the toilet pan, and you're there. And you're thinking about your breathing, and it's making it worse. What you should do, you should take slow, deep breaths. Into the count of 6, out to the count of 3, or into the count of 4, out to the count of 2. Always twice as much in as, no, sorry, 2 in, 4 out. What is it like? Half in, twice as much out. And that will help you to slow down and get your breathing and your heart rate down, which is what's actually happening. As you're panicking, your heart rate is going up. It needs more oxygen. And you're actually in a critical condition that way. But you brought it on yourself by panicking within the shower. But nevertheless, next time you go to take a shower, your mind is going to remember that incident, and it's going to say, well, I'm going to get short of breath when I have a shower, and you're going to believe it. So from then on, you're going to hate having a shower. How do I know that? It's happened to me. How do I also know that? It's happened to lots and lots of others of us. And the only way to get over that, we have to think of other things. We have to think of mindfulness to get over it. We have to tell ourselves that this time is going to be good. How did I get over it? I sat on the toilet seat beforehand. I took slow deep breaths, and I told myself I was going to sit in the seat, on the seat in the toilet. I would assume you've got a seat. If you're COPD, you should have a seat on the handrails so you can hold up. And I sat on the seat, and I told myself I'm going to sit in the seat in the shower for 5 minutes. I'm only sitting there like I'm sitting here. I'm going to breathe deeply, and I'm going to enjoy the water falling on me, cascading on me. And what did I do? I went in the shower, I sat there for 5 minutes, and I enjoyed the water cascading on me. And it took the fear away. And that's the way You've got to fight fear. A bit like when I was young. I had a big fear of flying, and I wanted to go abroad. I wanted to visit lots and lots and lots of different places. Well, I wasn't going to do that if I couldn't fly, if I was afraid of flying. Well, I wasn't afraid of flying, was I? I was afraid of dying. I was afraid of dropping out of the sky. Well, I went to Carnarvon in North Wales. I went to Carnarvon Airport, and I hired a Cessna pilot to take me up in his aeroplane, in a Cessna. One of the smallest, bumpiest planes you could go in. I went up with somebody. A friend went up with me. I loved it. It was great. So much so when we landed, I said to my friend, I'm going to go up again. So I asked the pilot, can we go again? He said, yes. My friend said, no, I'm not going. Why not? He said, I can't stand it. He said, it's going up and down like that. I feel like we're going to drop out of the sky. Lots of turbulence on the Cessna. So that time I sat in the front with the pilot. And that was a dream experience. I sat in the front. I knew a bit about flying by then. And I looked out, coming over the Menai Straits, and we was going over the water, and it looked like we wasn't moving. And it looked like, I thought we're not moving, we could drop out the bloody sky. Well, I looked at the dials and I could see we were doing 70 kilometres an hour, which was about right. So I relaxed and I enjoyed the ride. And bump, 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 bump. And I really loved it as we came into the airport, watching the runway approach. And that's how I got over my fear of flying. And we have to approach our fears in much the same way. We have to break that cycle. We have to break that order of command. And the way I would advise that is mindfulness. Now there's mindfulness, there's meditation. I love meditation, and there's lots of meditation apps there, and I'm sure you will enjoy meditation too, because meditation relaxes us. It's great to relax us. So if you get a chance to get a meditation, get a meditation. You know, I like listening to bird song, to the sound of the waves, to all kinds of things. But let's look at mindfulness. Now mindfulness is in the now. It's not in the future. It's not in the past. It's not in your thoughts. It's in the now. It's happening now. And that's what mindfulness is. It digs into the now. And there's plenty of apps for that. And I would advise getting an app and practicing mindfulness. I won't go into it here. There's a lot to go into it to tell you. But that will actually help you. Another way you could help, has been said by Barbara Moore, is to imagine that you're building your own bungalow or your own dream house. Design it from building it all the way up. Keep your mind to it. Every time you're going to do something that is normally stressing you, think of that, because that'll take your mind off of it. Because everything is, as long as you can take your mind off of things, you're fine. To give you an idea, I suffer from neuropathy, and neuropathy is a nerve thing that affects my legs, basically. It makes me feel like I've got a big sock on right up to my knee bone, and I haven't. It makes it feel a bit numb sometimes, and it tingles and gets hot and all sorts of things. And if I'm sitting doing nothing, it really is irritating, annoying, and sometimes painful. But if I'm driving, or if I'm doing something, or I'm doing mindfulness, it doesn't bother me, because my mind is taken away from it. And it's the same with your problems, with your stress. You've got to work at it. And the more you work at it, the more you find your breathlessness is better as well. It will help your breathlessness. So I hope that this has been of help to you. I know I've rambled a little bit. I know the start was a little bit dramatic. I'd also take a mention as well of my new group that I started in January this year, 2021. International Breathe Easy. International Breathe Easy is growing. It's a very interactive group nowadays, and I'm sure you would enjoy it if you like to meet people. It's a way of meeting people international, because we are a worldwide organisation. Most of our members are from the USA, Canada and South Africa, plus the UK. But of course, wherever you're from, you're very, very welcome to join us. We meet every Wednesday. We meet from 7 p.m. London time or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is New York time. The link can be found on our International Breathe Easy site, which I'll put a link to our Facebook International Breathe Easy site at the bottom of this YouTube video, so you can come and join us where all the links are. It's the same link every week. If you don't have Facebook, then by all means send me your email. I'll add you to my email list and I'll send you a link to how you can actually come and join us. Another Facebook group that I run is We Strive to Breathe Easier. There's over 1,500 members. It's a help site. So there's a chance to come along and join me in interaction if that's what you'd like to do. But otherwise, obviously, keep watching the videos. For now, it's me in South Wales. Say goodbye. Breathe easier. Be kind to yourself and to others too. I look forward to chatting again soon. Bye bye for now.